Welcome, everybody, and Happy New Year. We're happy to see you back at the Prescott Public Library CoffeeHouse Concert series. And today we're going to be featuring Brad Newman. And in honor of Brad being here, he's kind of a funny fella. And so his songs have a lot of humor, and he tells great stories. And so in honor of that, I'd like to sing you a song about our cat. And the song is called Feline Persuasion. And you know, if you know cats, we think that they're our pets, but really, I think we're kind of their pets. So they definitely have us trained. Little kitty, sweet as can be, voluminous eyes looking up at me. She's my buddy, my furry little pal of mine. She roams the house, she's got her usual haunts, and things will be fine if I do what she wants. You know I love her most all the time. But 4 in the morning, I'm sleeping deep, a soft paw's tapping on my cheek. Is this a dream, or is this for real? Every night we go through the same ordeal. I say it's way too early, go away. The sky's pitch black, it's not even gray. I roll on over and try to go back to sleep. Oh, she climbs on over to my other side. She purrs and stares until I open my eyes. It's a hopeless situation, she can't be beat. Well, I can't believe the sound I hear next. She's clawing up the carpet, ripping out the threads. She's got my attention, she knows what to do. She's brazen, conniving, and clever too. I grab my slipper and I throw it with a shout. I say, get out, you darn cat, go on, get out. She runs down the hall, hollering with all her might. Well, I acquiesce and I get out of bed, resigned to my fate. I got to watch where I step, 'cause I heard her hack up a hairball in the middle of the night. She meows and yowls all around my feet as I mash up chunks of sweetheart meat. You know, I've seen her face on TV. She's the talkingest cat you ever did see. I serve up her breakfast, put coffee on the stove, go light the fire, that's the way my day goes. To tell the truth, there's so much she teaches me. Well, she's always there with her love and affection. She makes me slow down and live in the present. But how she can sleep all day, now that's a mystery. We're hopelessly doomed to these routines, I give in day and night to her pestering. She's got me trained to come when she calls, and if I don't jump, she whips out her claws. She leaps in my lap, no matter what I'm reading, round and round till she gets comfortably seated. She drapes herself like a warm robe on my thigh. Well, purring in pleasure, she digs in. Those talons of hers pierce my delicate skin. I give her a swat, she gives me the evil eye. She's quick to inform me of her dismay. I get the cold shoulder as she walks away. Her tail is twitching, she's clearly pissed. Her disgust at my rejection can't be missed. She acts indifferent and she won't beg. She deftly licks her bottom and the backside of her leg. Her thinking on this matter, it's not particularly deep. Oh, she's quite aware it's a game of pretend. She tidies herself up from end to end, tucks her head in her paws, curls up, falls fast asleep. These antics of hers, they're perpetually pleasing. She brightens up my day through every season. She makes me laugh, she's there when I cry. Through every situation, she's by my side. Her muscles taut, she's ready to spring. In those jaws of death, they start chattering. And sometimes she moves like a panther on the prowl. Well, she brings me presents to my back door, entrails and fur and a little bit more. I gotta go get a shovel, a hose, and paper towel. It's love and affection that we're both craving. We're happy with each other, there's no debating. We find comfort and it's agreed. Our friendship, it's natural and all we need. I saw a feline documentary the other day. It said cats help humans keep loneliness at bay, and sometimes they catch a mouse or a lizard or two. Well, she pees in my plants and sleeps on clean clothes and claws up my furniture right where it shows. She's a bit consternating, but that is what cats do. She's my buddy, my furry friend, tried and true. Riven the cat. Well, in just a minute, we're going to get Brad Newman up here. And so get comfortable. And boy, Brad's been part of the Prescott folk scene for ever and ever. In fact, he's one of the few people I know that actually has one of his guitars behind glass on display in a downtown eating and drinking establishment. So we're delighted to have Brad with us. And give us a minute, and he'll be right up.
How is your river rolling this week? Is it dry as a scar on a cowboy's cheek? And where is the girl you've been trying to reach? She's as high as a snake in a condor's beak. Moonlight all bright ran away with a boatin' come yesterday. Moonlight, she didn't know his name. Oh, he must have come on like a gospel train. Circle the sun and we all go around. I'm gonna feel a lot better when this wind dies down. Circle the sun and we all go around. I'm gonna feel like a feather when the wind dies down. Moonlight, alright, I'll shed a few tears and go to bed alone like I've done for years. Moonlight's note said, here I go. I'm leaving the world of the Colorado. Circle the sun and we all go around. I'm gonna feel a lot better when the wind dies down. Circle the sun and we all go around. I'm gonna feel like a feather when the wind dies down. How is your river rolling this week? Is it dry as a scar on a cowboy's cheek? Where is the girl you've been trying to reach? She's as high as a snake in a condor's beak. That's what a boatman does on a windy day. We get pulled off a trip if the wind was 50 knots sustained. And I learned what a 50-knot wind was working on the deck of a crab boat in the Bering Sea. And a 50-knot wind will hold you up. It's kind of fun. You lean into it, it'll hold you up. And that was a windy day. Well, this wasn't even on the list. And there's a list. But we were talking before the camera started rolling about my high school reunion. And they informed me I was on the committee to plan the high school reunion. I said, well, what year, let me do the math. And they told me, whew, so this song kind of came around. And good news is they canceled it. COVID, travel, canceled the reunion, which is kind of great because I don't have to lose 30 pounds now. And enough of this small town nonsense. I ain't staying in school. I'm making good dough, working for my brother, cleaning out pools. So I'm moving out to Prescott, and man, it won't be long. Soon as I get my license, well, you can color me gone. What's the matter with you, Bradley? Oh, you're living in your head. You ain't even got a truck, and these chicks don't believe a word you said. But you're doing all the talking, so I'll just keep quiet. This'll probably go nowhere, but you can't blame me for trying. It's just us kids in the park tonight, out here hanging under neon lights. Got no money and we got no drugs, ain't even bothering anyone. To wear a necktie, don't have to punch a clock. I started up this .com company, man, it rocks. So would you come with me to Mexico next winter with some friends? My divorce will be final long about then. Meanwhile, I got a gram and a real nice ride. You could say I was hurting way down inside. Just us kids in the parking lot, out here giving it all we got. We don't want to grow old and die. There ain't nothing we haven't tried. Have it all. Youngest gonna graduate next fall, and I can take retirement now in maybe 6 years. This is a damn short movie. How'd we ever get here? Just us kids hanging out today, watching our long hair turning gray. Not so skinny, maybe not so green, not quite as many as we used to be. Just us kids hanging out today, watching our long hair turning gray. Not so skinny, maybe not so green, not quite as many as we used to be. Just us kids hanging out today, watching our long hair turning gray. Not so skinny, maybe not so green, not quite as many as we used to be. That wasn't even on the list. Well, cool. I'm thinking while we're in this obscure tuning, it's been my practice the last 6.5 years. Every time we have a gathering in Prescott, I kind of spoil the whole fun by reminding folks that there'll always be 19 empty chairs around any Christmas dinner, around any holiday event, around any concert, around any gathering at church or temple. So, as Chief Washakie of the Shoshone said, it is good for people to change, but not to forget. So let's not forget. Dust to dust and ash to ash, they clung to each other as the flames roared past on a jagged, staggered line, working up that hill till they ran out of air, but not out of will. Cutting a line, but not in time. Pull your Pulaski boys and run, and hit the dirt. We've all trained for the worst. Now just dust and ash smothers the sun. We'll offer up these 19, these our town's very best, torn from their youth, lost in the wilderness, saving a town they'd never known, and honoring an oath they all had sworn. Sorrow falls like smoke over our little town. I can still hear their boys' laughter in the evening when the wind dies down. Doing what they do, doing what they must, doing it till it's done. It's all ash and dust. Well. Brighten up your day? Certainly does mine. Played a Guild 12-string for a while. Fixed it up. Taylor, way too hot for me. Of course, Ethan said, if you want a 12-string to sound like a Martin 12-string, you need to get a Martin 12-string. So I did. Very difficult instrument to play. 12-string guitar, you only got 10 fingers. Do the math. Let's try this. Very nervy. Cabling a 12-string on the internet. No offense to my neighbors and friends and folks in a little north of town, of course, Chino Valley, beautiful rolling hills of Chino Valley. Before it was Chino Valley, of course, it was Peoples Valley, Peeples. And before then, it was just called Level Land. Flatter than a tabletop, makes you wonder why they stopped here. The wagon must have lost a wheel, or they lacked ambition. One. And in the great migration west, separated from the rest, though they tried to do their best, they never found the sun. But they put some roots down in the dirt to keep from blowing off the earth. They built a town right here, and when the dust had all but cleared, they called it Level Land. The pride of man, Level Land. Granddad grew dry land wheat, stood up on his own 2 feet. When his mind got incomplete, well, they put him in a home. And Daddy's cotton grows so high, it sucks the water table dry. His swirling sprinklers circle by, bleeding it to the bone. And I won't be here when there comes the day it all dries up and blows away. I'd stick around to see, but they never had much use for me in Level Land. They don't understand me in Level Land. And I watch those jet planes carving up this deep blue sky. Coast to coast, I watch them go. And I never would blame them one damn bit if they never looked down on this. Not much here they'd want to know. Nothing but level land, as far as you can point your hand. Nothing but level land. And Mama used to roll her hair back before the central air. We'd sit outside and watch the stars at night. And she'd tell me to make a wish, and I wished we both could fly. I don't think she's seen the sky since they got the satellite dish. And I can hear the marching band doing the best they can to play smoke on the water and joy to the world. And I paid all my debts. I got some change back left. I'm gonna board me a whisper jet, and I'm gonna fly as far as I can get from level land. I did the best I can in level land. Tune about the settling of the Central Highlands. Well, while we're in this obscure tuning, today's Gaelic word of the day, so there'll be a quiz at the end. Caledonia. Caledonia, Scotch-Irish, means home. And when I got to go home, I got to go to Ireland, West Cork, Ireland, last summer, met Newmans, met Bradley's, played a night at Newman's pub. There was 150 Newmans. Everybody had the same nose. It's remarkable. And next day I meet Thomas Bradley, the postmaster of school, West Cork, Ireland. It was just wonderful, wonderful people. And it was very exciting to play these little pubs. And first night I was there, I was setting up and I was very nervous. They said, "Have you ever been to Europe? Have you ever been to Ireland?" And I said, "I've been to Rocky Point, where I've been." And I said, "Well, I've been practicing up on my mournful Irish ballads." And he says, "Oh, to hell with that. We hear plenty of that. We want to hear more Jimmy Buffett." And I'll tell you, they love the James Taylor and Jimmy Buffett and Johnny Cash and Bob Dylan, and everybody's lined up at the bar, and I start playing, "Come gather round, people, wherever you're up." They get up with their mugs and they start marching down the street. It's just a song, fellas. But wonderful, wonderful. So, Caledonia means home. So let's get the mournful Irish ballad portion of the program done. I don't know if you can see the changes have come over me in the last few days. I've been afraid I might just drift away. So I'm singing old stories, singing old songs about the place where my people are from. That's the reason why I seem so far away today. Oh, but let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Caledonia's calling me, and I'm going home. And if I should become a stranger, that would make me more than sad. Caledonia's everything I ever had. Well, I have moved and kept on moving, proving points I needed proving. Lost some friends I needed losing, met others along the way. And I've been entwined and become untwined. Broken hearts, yeah, there's no denying. Then down the river with conscience flying, somewhere in the wind. Oh, but let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Caledonia's calling me, and I'm going And if I should become a stranger, that would make me more than sad. Caledonia's everything I ever had. Now we're sitting here before the fire, this ancient room, the forest choir. The flames are gone, they won't grow higher. They're withered now and gone. And I'm steady thinking my way is clear, and I know what I must do tomorrow when the hands have all shaken and the kisses flowed, and I must disappear. Oh, but let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Caledonia's calling me, and I'm going home. And if I should become a stranger, you know that would make me more than sad. Caledonia's everything I've ever had. Caledonia's everything I ever had. Caledonia's everything I ever had. Okay. Had a wonderful note in the last week. I've had a lot of wonderful notes. Thank you. You know who you are. And he said, you're Brad the dad, not just because you're Ethan's dad, but you've been dad to this army of young men. And this is speaking of the musician crowd in mostly the valley that Ethan was very much the center of. And you'll always be Brad the dad. And of course I will. I've got my darling Kirsten and the bonus girl, Kaylee, and all them yahoos that I'm dadding up. So let me see if I can do this. And I will say this. Ethan hated me playing this song. Being a dad isn't so bad till you gotta feed them. You gotta shoe them and clothe them. Try not to loathe them. Love them and hug them and heat them. But being a dad can make you go mad. I mean, man, it can drive you crazy. It's as hard as it looks. We gotta read those dumb books, and you'll wind up despising Walt Disney. And being a dad gets to be radical when they turn into teenagers. That's when we tighten the screws, enforce the curfews, confiscate cell phones and tasers. Oh, but a daughter or son can be kind of fun, just as long as they don't defy you. They treat you like a king. They believe anything. They're easy to frighten and lie to. Being a dad, being a dad, being a dad takes more than a tad of good luck and divine intervention. You need airtight alibis, foolproof disguises. Desperation's the father of invention. I was a little remiss. I went off to play tennis and stayed away for half of his lifetime. The result of it all, captured and hauled before a tribunal to stand for dad crimes. Being a dad, being a dad, being a dad makes you feel glad when you get paperweights and aftershave lotion. Man, it feels pretty great when they finally graduate. That's when you're filled with emotion. But being a dad can make you feel sad when you become the insignificant other. And right from the start, they'll break your heart. And in the end, every kid wants their mother. Being a dad, being a dad. That's my side of the story. I love being a dad. I think I did pretty good. I was on a panel once. Some guy, of course, canceled. Some big shot professor from NAU canceled to be on this panel on child rearing. I believe it was held in this building. They called me at the last second, like, what am I supposed to, And I go down the panel. I have a PhD in child development. I have a PhD in psychology. I have to be. And they get to me and I go, well, I have a grown child and I like him. So I guess I did okay. I sure do. Brought a lot of joy to a lot of the world. Explaining to my sister today, she says, it says in the paper that he traveled to 20 countries. I said, Mom, it's more like 30, playing his guitar. How do you do that? He'd do these USO tours. And he loved, that was his service, was to do the USO tours. He called me once from Guam. Wow. And he's playing a bass in Guam. I said, how's it going? He goes, it's kind of rough. What do you mean? He says, well, we have a DOD. We have a mission. We have orders. And we have a mission. And the mission is to improve morale. And I said, well, yeah. And he goes, well, Guam, the morale is pretty good. It's kind of hard to click it up. He described it as Hawaii in the 1950s, before the... Anyhow. Well, all right. This next one is my contribution to Folklore of Yavapai County. It's a true story. Many of you have heard it before. Many of you heard it at summer camp. If you came up to Mingus Springs Camp in the 5th grade from Miller Valley School or Beaver Creek School or Chino Valley Middle School, and then 4-H all over the state of Arizona, our little ranch evolved into environmental education camp, which is really cool, and now managed by my alma mater at the University of Arizona. Okay, that said, when I was just a rootin' tootin' hippie cowboy, the next ranch over was the Brendel Pup, which was Duke and Dorothy Cannell's little ranch. And we shared a fence line, so we had a lot of quality time working that fence. And Duke told me the story of Geronimo Pena, who was the last mountain man in Arizona. Lived on top of Mingus Mountain through the 1940s, through World War II, had no idea about it. Lived in 2 cabins, and Duke showed me the cabins, and I'll show you. He had one on the north side for summertime. He had one on the south side for wintertime. Duke, by the way, was the last employee of the Phelps Dodge Mining Company in Jerome, Arizona, where Geronimo had worked as a miner, and he had, you might say, unrequited love for, you might say, a professional woman in Jerome, Maria. And so, yeah, I kind of romanticize him as the last mountain man in Arizona, more likely a crazy old coot that lived on top of Mingus. Duke would collect firewood that Geronimo would cut and split, take it to Cottonwood, take it to Prescott, sell it, take the money, buy beans, nails, little feed for the burros, and that way Geronimo made, sometimes $40 to $70 a year. And So this is the story of Geronimo, exactly as Duke told me. Didn't make any of it up. I just made it rhyme. And there will be a quiz at the end, so it's good to pay attention and maybe take notes. But a lot of folks, grown families, come up to me at a gig and with their kids, and they say, I remember you playing that song when I was in 5th grade. I say, no, that must have been my much older brother or something. But hey, Duke, won't you take me back? Wanna walk in Geronimo's moccasin tracks. Hey, Duke, won't you take me back? Wanna walk in Geronimo's moccasin tracks. You see, Geronimo had his heart broken down in Jerome, so he figured he'd move to Mingus Mountain all alone. Built himself a cabin early that summer. When the winter time fell, well, he built him another. And hey, Duke, won't you take me back? Wanna walk in Geronimo's moccasin tracks. Hey, Duke, take me back. Wanna walk in Geronimo's moccasin tracks. He kept no clocks or calendars of any kind. He said, without Marie beside me, I don't want to know the time. So he lived alone with his burros and a couple of mangy old cats, wearing the same Pendleton shirt and an old Stetson hat. I seen a picture Duke showed me. It was black and white, of course. Hey, Duke, take me back. Wanna walk in Geronimo's moccasin tracks. Hey, Duke, take me back. Wanna walk in Geronimo's moccasin tracks. Well, Duke went up to see him, maybe bring him a surprise. But he got a little scared when he saw the look in his eye. Geronimo said, hey, Duke, what you got to say? Duke said, man, don't you know? Why, this is Christmas Day. And that made Geronimo blue right to the bone. He wondered how long he lived on Mingus all alone. You see, living without friends is no way to be. And a life without love, and you're never really free. Keep that in mind, boys. And hey, Duke, take me back. Wanna walk in Geronimo's moccasin tracks. Hey, Duke, take me back. Walk in Geronimo's moccasin tracks. Well, Geronimo is gone, but his spirit's still here. I can hear him chopping wood on a day about this clear. Yeah, he's doing what any phantom woodcutter should. Calling in his burros, chopping up wood and singing, hey, Duke, take me back. Wanna walk in Geronimo's moccasin tracks. Hey, Duke, take me back. Wanna walk in Geronimo's moccasin tracks. Then Duke up and left us. Mine's not for the knowing, but Duke always seemed to know just where he was going. Now you give your heart to somebody, buddies, you take a chance. Now there's another spirit that's haunting our ranch. And hey, Duke, take me back. Wanna walk in Geronimo's moccasin tracks. Hey, Duke, take me back. Wanna walk in Geronimo's moccasin tracks. Hey, Duke, take me me back. Wanna walk in Geronimo's moccasin tracks. Hey, do take me back. Wanna walk in Geronimo's moccasin. Walk on now. That's a true story, too. All about Geronimo, Maria, Duke, the Burrows. Yep. Well, the big hand is on the can of spinach. The little hand is coming around to the olive oil, which means it's almost time to get this stuff back to the pawn shop. They charge me double, even on a Sunday. Couple more? Well, we can do this all day. I'm not tired or proud. Happy New Year. I'm kind of ready to hit the reset on 2021 already, huh? Crickets. I want to read terms and conditions before signing on. You know, the last one... So Happy New Year. It's New Year's Day, just like the day before. Same old skies of gray, same empty bottles on the floor. Another year gone by. And I'm thinking once again, how can I take this losing hand and somehow win? Give me one good year to get my feet back on the ground. I've been chasing grace, but grace ain't so easily found. One bad year can strangle a man, take him on down. I gotta get out of here, give me one good year. I'm burning oil, engines running rough. I drive from job to job, but it's never enough. I can't find the will to just up and walk away. Some kind of chains holding me down, making me stay. Give me one good year, get my feet back on the ground. I've been chasing grace, and grace ain't so easily found. One good year can give a man a chase him on down. Now I gotta get out of here. We all need one good year. One good year. One good year. Let's all have one good year. So I was on the front page of the Arizona Republic one time, and my mother called me, so excited. One of her little grandma tennis friends brought it to the little tennis club at 5:30 in the morning. There was a commission being formed to draw congressional districts across the Grand Canyon State, and I was being considered for this ambitious assignment. And on the right-hand side of the front page of the Arizona Republic, they listed everybody who was under consideration. And the guy ahead of me wrote the Constitution for the Emerging Democracy of Estonia, U of A law professor, and then they had Brad Newman, Prescott, Arizona, plays the guitar and harmonica at the same time. And thank goodness for all of you. I was not given that assignment, but... Me and the boys from the old Broken O rode to Sonora last night. Guns hanging proud and daring out loud for anyone to put up a fight. Card cheats and rustlers would die for their holes when the boys from the old Broken O rode up and rained on a street that they'd named Sonora's Death Row. Mezcal was free in Amanda's saloon for the boys from the old Broken O. Saturday nights there in Sonora, the best in all Mexico. There were trumpets and guitars and sweet senoritas who don't want to let you go. Who'd ever believe such a gay, happy town would have a street called Sonora's Death Row? We were all having a fine, happy time, dancing with the miners' gals. I'd won some money in 7-card stud, so I was out doing my pals. But the mezcal and whiskey and peso cigars drew me outside for some air. Somebody whispered, "Your life or your money." I drew, but my gun wasn't there. I woke up face down in Amanda's back alley, aware of the fool I had been. I ran to my pony and grabbed my Winchester, then back to Amanda's again. And there were my partners twirling my 6 guns and throwing my money around. Blinded by anger, I jacked the lever, and one of them fell to the ground. Amanda's fell silent that night in the desert. My friends stared in pure disbelief. Amanda was kneeling beside the dead cowboy, lately expressing her grief. Just then, somehow, something shot through me. My 6 guns were still at my side. I reached in my pockets, there was my money. I fell to my knees and I cried. You see, the nightmare of mezcal was all that it was. No one had robbed me at all. I wish I was dreaming the sound of the gallows. They're testing right outside the wall. And mezcal's still free in Amanda's saloon for the boys from the old Broken O. I'd pay ransom to be free any day of Sonora's Death Row. Yes, I'd pay ransom to drink any day on Sonora's death row. So, there's a lesson in there. There's a lesson in there, especially for you young people, about the perils of free tequila. Let's keep that in mind, okay? Okay. Carmen must have been the devil's daughter. At least he taught her how to wear her clothes. She led all the boys down to the slaughter. And we fell like rows of dominoes. Fell like rows of dominoes. It's share and share like you know I love you. Also love the way the wild river flows. So don't put your dreams too high above you. They'll fall like rows of dominoes. Fall like rows of dominoes. Don't let the past drive you under. I know how memory comes and memory goes. The years roll by just like thunder, and they fall like rows of dominoes. Fall like rows of dominoes. Won't you tell me how you've been? Don't you say you're doing fine. I got that old feeling once again. The dominoes are standing in a line. Dominoes are standing in a line. They say the rich man never knows what he misses. And a fool don't miss what he don't know. What can I say? Your 10,000 kisses fell on me like rows of dominoes. Fell like rows of dominoes. Won't you tell me how you've been? And don't you say you're doing fine. I got that old feeling once again. There's a lot more laying on the line. A lot more laying on the line. Carmen must have been the devil's daughter. At least he taught her how to wear her clothes. She led all the boys down to the slaughter. And they fell like rows of dominoes. Fell like rows of dominoes. And you know who you are. You know who I'm talking about. Well, okay. Got to get on downriver and get this gear back to the pawn shop. And you have something else to do, so think about doing it. But while you are, maybe you're humming a tune that everybody knows. Well, I went boating down the Colorado River just to see what I could find. And what I found there along the Colorado River was another frame of mind. So as you go boating down the Colorado River, on our great boats of blue and silver, past 100 canyons with 100 names. My prayer for you is maintain that frame. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island and the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. Well, I roamed and rambled and I followed my footsteps down this emerald river to the sparkling ocean, and all around me a voice seemed to surround me, saying this land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island and the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. And September 11, I can never forget. These were my neighbors I hadn't met. Can we stand together and this time forever? 'Cause this land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island and the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me. Well, thanks everybody. Have a great new year, will you? Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. You can't take care of each other if you're not taking care of yourself. Okay, so wash your hands. See you downriver.